Alrighty, what is up guys? Evan Aldo here. Welcome back to the channel. Always appreciate if you like and subscribe to the channel. Wanted to give you an overview on why I think things aren't that bad for Bitcoin and crypto in general right now. We got our kind of summer correction or summer lull. Mt. Gox obviously contributed to this a little bit, at least in the sense when you look at how big cap NASDAQ stocks, S&P 500 has gone up generally while crypto came down, which I don't think we'd keep that disparity for too long. I think traditional markets are going to follow downward, or Bitcoin's going to fight back with traditional markets as they continue forward, which most likely they probably will into the end of the year, into the election, I think. And the thing that I'm looking at right now, on the macro for Bitcoin is look right here with the money flow kind of coming down in this correction. In this is in the 4-year cycle, August, summer of 2016. You had that drop down here, and let's just see what that was. I mean, if you do it all the way down to the wick, it was like 40 something percent. But let's just take away, I just want to take away that wick and see what this correction kind of was. So about 28%. And what have we seen so far? And almost there, 27%. I mean, you could even argue, since we're in such a bigger market cap now, that 27% is easily equivalent to 28%, or maybe even 30% if you kind of map it like that. I mean, I'm not counting the wick, so take it as you will. But when we look at previous cycles, we're not even in terms of this money flow. Now, money flow gets less every time, but still, even with that diminished return, like we're not even near kind of that top in terms of money flow here. See, it started from red to green all the way up, red to green all the way up, red to green. It seems like there's more brewing, and it seems like this correction is not going to be that much worse. Can we go down, 48K or lower? Absolutely, but I don't think it's going to be that crazy bad. Especially when you have the Fed very close to pivoting in a few months, probably in September. That could be good for especially altcoins, bottoming out against Bitcoin. You also have Bitcoin conference coming up. Very likely Trump is going to speak there. Maybe even Biden would speak there, which is going to be just, I can't imagine a situation where one of them speaking there and in Bitcoin still dumps. Maybe I could be wrong. Sometimes it is, sell the news, but we'll see what happens. Trigger wave forming on the weekly. I would imagine this is going to be potentially a trigger to this wave, like a higher wave than this, potentially giving us some relief, into the end of the year. As we've seen in previous kind of 4-year cycles, in the halving year, you finally make that new all-time high, either in later halving year or early in the following year, post-halving year. If we look at EMAs, I want you to look at the EMAs right here on Market Cipher A. Look at these EMAs. They're turning from bright to gray. Look right here, bright to gray. You came down to this area. This was about, from the drop down, about a 14, 15% drop down. Similar situation right here, about a 15% drop down. Now, what do we want to look at? What happened here? Consolidation, boringness. We typically see boringness for at least 1 month out of the summer. Summer is a boring time for stocks and crypto in general. Excuse me, we may see some consolidation, potentially consolidation until the end of August. Then we jump into the end of the year, similar to that situation. Then we jump back. We get, that wave or something over here, jump back and potentially make a new all-time high towards the end of this year, towards the elections, maybe a little bit later. If history is any indication, it probably would be December of this year or sometime early next year, probably Q2 of next year at the absolute latest, unless we really do something different than we've done in previous 4-year cycles. When you look at, your 20-hour, here you're kind of saving grace. So I'll actually look at the daily, almost about to form that bull div on the daily. Could have a saving grace here, could have a jump up. Bull divs are forming. Look at this. We're looking better right now. Things are looking a little bit better, potentially jumping up to 63. That's the big place that we want to look at here. Trigger waves kind of forming on your 4-hour. Trigger on the 2-hour. I kind of like what I'm seeing there. So not too shabby. I think it may take some time to jump back up to that 64 or whatever, but I think you might get there. I think you absolutely might get up to that 64. That's what I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin. And if you could hold 60, that's a good sign, and potentially leading to recovery into, September, October, like I mentioned, those areas. But don't be afraid if it gets a little bit boring. I think we're due for some more boringness, because if you look at history here, that was that summer. You had the boringness. We haven't seen boringness in a while, just generally up and to the right. Not complaining about the up and to the right, but we need some more boringness. So yeah, ETH, a lot of similarities. Trigger wave starting to form here. Higher trigger wave almost forming on that 5-day. Huge area. Look at that drop from April. ETH ETF is going to be able to be traded soon. If you think that's bullish news, if you think that's not a sell the news type of thing, then that would orchestrate a potential jump here. Even if we do, let's say we jump up to 64K, let's say we, hit our target for ETH and we jump up to, same thing on ETH. Say we jump up to spiral line 3,300, maybe that's when you finally, reject and hit lower areas. Maybe sometime, later this summer, later this month, later this summer, depending. So that's that possibility too. But we just gotta, obviously reevaluate how things look to, kind of get our odds on whether we'd hold that area if we do get there. So that's the big thing I'm looking at on ETH. Lower time frames looking decent. If you guys are interested in some trades, check out the Aldo Empire VIP Discord down below. So yeah, and if you want one free month in there where I give a lot of really good trade setups and all that, if you sign up to any links down below for the exchanges, deposit at least $100, I'll give you one free month in the Discord. Just open a support ticket with your UID. We have had a lot of really good trades in there. Not everything is going to be a winner. There are some rough spots here and there. I learned a valuable lesson, especially on the slower weeks like 4th of July. Those are the hardest times to trade, especially when you're trade. Sometimes you just gotta, especially for swing trading, just wait for those entries, because now it seems like that long entry is really what we gotta be looking at. And I do have a lot of good setups in the Discord for that, which no promises, but I think they should work out. Obviously not financial advice though. If you look at kind of your treasuries and all that for interest rates, I think they generally are leaning towards more downward action, and this could be good for some Bitcoin altcoin pairs. Matic, big area right there. You're getting all these yellow X's. You're down a lot against Bitcoin. I'm kind of done buying the altcoins I want to buy. I think we're at the evaluations where I'm just going to hold for a year and hope for the best and pray. And I think that if history repeats, I should do absolutely very well. I mean, this could come anywhere close to Bitcoin, 500%, but even, against Bitcoin, maybe a couple 100% we'd be happy with. So as we look at there. And if you look at AVAX, this is just AVAX on its normal pair. It is concerning on the 4-day, but you do have a bull div on the 3-day there. So a little bit conflicting. Your weekly, not bad. Two-week trigger kind of forming. I think that true 2-week trigger is going to be really important. He came down a lot. I mean, you got Blood Diamond on the 6-hour. I don't think it's that strong because your money flow looks better. Your money flow is coming into the green finally. So I don't know if I would give too much credence to that Blood Diamond. We'll see what happens, though. We'll absolutely have to see what happens. I'd give more credence to that. Those snake eyes here on the 3-day, and I think that could potentially save the day for some of these, and at least follow that rally back up to maybe $30 here or something, something of that nature, which could be important to kind of keep our eyes on here for that one. If we look at, I just want to look at Solana as well. Obviously, one of the big favorites. Let's go on their Coinbase chart here. And, a little concerning on the 4-day, but that trigger wave on the weekly potentially forming, that really could save the day for, for a lot of these here. And then if you look at daily trigger wave even, we want to, kind of form that area. So, yeah. That looks good on Solana. I mean, a little freebie kind of trade entry. I'll post it in the Discord too. A little freebie kind of trade entry here. And maybe even something like that. Maybe it could be a little bit more that area. If you want to get a one-to-one, you could almost do it like that. Something of that nature I kind of like there. So, yeah, kind of looking at that. I do kind of like that. Triggers. This looks pretty good. This does look pretty good. Solana's really... It could be. It has been a good one to trade. I mean, obviously, bearish case would be coming down there, so that's what we got to keep in mind for Solana right there. I also wanted to look at Tesla. I think a lot of these big cap Nasdaq ones will continue to do well. We are hitting a big point, but I don't see any major signs of really slowing down for Tesla. You may consolidate a little bit, but I do think that you got a good shot of potentially coming forward here. On your weekly and on some of these for Tesla, potentially breaking up higher into the end of the year. This could follow, what a lot of the other big cap Nasdaq stocks have done, which was make new all-time highs, and you're far away from your all-time highs here. So you may have excuse me, you may have something really coming up here. So that's all I have right now, guys. Really hope you enjoyed the update and what could potentially happen. If you want to check out the Discord, want a free month, sign up to any exchanges down below. Deposit at least $100. BloFin and FAIRDESK are the best if you don't want to KYC. Excellent exchanges and really good promos I got from you. Only with my link for the first few people, first 100 people, I believe. On BloFin, if you deposit a certain amount, there's a big bonus. I know if you deposit 2K, you get a $300 bonus, I believe. That could be a really good one to check out. So yeah, check those out down below if you guys are interested. And yeah, guys, smash the like button. Always appreciate that. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Goodbye.